Listen closely. Your energy shapes everything: how you think, how you show up, and how you respond to challenges, opportunities, and setbacks. Every part of it matters. Many people don't realize this, but the reason they feel stuck, tired, or unfulfilled isn't always because life is unfair. Often it's because they're putting their energy into the wrong things. They focus on distractions, negativity, unhealthy relationships, and external approval instead of turning that energy inward. If you want to change your life, the first step is to shift your focus to yourself, not on what others are doing, not on what they're saying, and not on who's ahead or behind you. Just on you. Once you take control of where your energy goes, everything starts to shift. You begin creating the life you want, rather than simply reacting to the one you have. When you don't focus on yourself, you waste time watching others, comparing your progress, and questioning your worth. You invest energy in people who don't support your growth and who limit your potential. You end up caught in a loop of hesitation, overthinking, and playing it safe. Then time passes, and you wonder why nothing has changed. But here's the truth. Anyone who's built something meaningful or who lives with confidence and purpose has one thing in common: they took ownership of their energy. They stopped waiting for permission or approval. They focused on growth, mindset, and daily actions, building their future from the inside out. It's easy to get distracted. It's easy to look for validation, to compare yourself to others, or to wait for the perfect moment. But let's be clear, that moment never comes. No one is going to give you permission to succeed. No one will hand you confidence, fulfillment, or progress. These are things you build gradually, through daily choices. The first step is awareness. Ask yourself, where is your energy going? Who or what are you giving attention to that doesn't deserve it? How much time do you spend on things that don't support your goals? The moment you get honest with yourself, you begin to regain control. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of your situation and start becoming the one who shapes. The next step is action. This is where many people lose momentum. They wait for motivation. They let doubt hold them back. But the truth is, motivation isn't reliable. You won't always feel like taking the next step. You do it anyway. That's discipline. That's commitment. And that's the difference between people who reach their goals and those who remain stuck. You don't need to make a big or sudden change all at once. All it takes is one small shift at a time. Maybe that means setting boundaries with people who leave you drained. Maybe it's waking up just 30 minutes earlier to focus on your goals. Maybe it's replacing critical self-talk with more supportive thoughts. Or it could be taking one small step towards something that excites or motivates you. Whatever the change looks like for you, the most important thing is simply to begin. The reason many people don't change isn't a lack of ability. It's fear. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear of leaving their comfort zone. But growth doesn't happen when you stay comfortable. Real change doesn't come from staying safe. If you want to create a life that truly reflects your goals and values, you have to be willing to do things differently. You have to take risks and trust yourself, even when you don't have all the answers. And as you do this, as you begin to show up for yourself, protect your energy, and make choices based on your vision, rather than others' expectations, you'll notice a shift. You'll begin to see possibilities instead of problems. You'll start attracting the right people, opportunities, and circumstances, not because your situation magically changes, but because your energy becomes more focused and purposeful, and that creates real momentum. Here's the truth. Your life isn't waiting on anyone else. It's waiting on you. You have the power to shift your energy and reshape your path. You can rewrite your story, but that starts with a decision. Not tomorrow, not later, right now. Take a breath, stand tall, and remind yourself that you are capable, that you matter, and that you are in charge of your choice. Then take the first step, no matter how small, toward the life you want to live. Stop seeking outside approval. Truly stop. The moment you begin living for your own purpose instead of trying to meet others' expectations, things begin to change. And yes, that can be hard. Many people are taught from a young age to seek approval, whether from parents, teachers, peers, or even social media. Every time you achieve something, you might wonder, will they notice? Will they be proud? Will they agree with my choice? And when the recognition doesn't come, you start doubting yourself. You begin to question your value, your capability, and your place in the world. That's where the real problem begins. Understand this. Your worth does not depend on other people's opinion. It doesn't increase or decrease based on attention, approval, or external praise. Your value is already within you. You were born worthy, and the only person who needs to believe that is you. The reason many people feel disconnected or unfulfilled is because they're living according to what others expect, rather than what they truly want. Many people make choices to impress others, to fit in, or to be accepted, and in doing so they lose touch with who they really are. Think about it. How often have you made a decision simply because it's what someone else expected? How often have you said yes when you truly wanted to say no? How many times have you stayed in a job, a relationship, or a friendship because you were afraid of what others might think if you walked away? That's not truly living. That's performing, and the cost of that performance is high. Your happiness, your peace of mind, and your sense of self. This doesn't mean you should ignore everyone around you, or never take advice. There are people who care about you and want what's best. But ultimately, you're the one living your life. You're the one who has to wake up each day and face your reflection. So ask yourself honestly, are you living a life that reflects who you really are? Or are you living for other people's approval? It's time to stop waiting for permission. It's time to start trusting yourself. And yes, that can feel uncertain at first. Because once you stop depending on external validation, you have to learn how to validate yourself. That means being okay with making choices others might not agree with. It means accepting that not everyone will like even if you're genuine, kind, and hardworking. Someone may still criticize you, and that's okay. That's part of life. The truth is, you don't need everyone's approval. You just need your own. And once you fully accept that, you'll feel a level of freedom that many never reach. You'll stop second-guessing yourself. You'll stop holding back. You'll start choosing what's right for you, not what's expected of you. You'll begin to pursue goals that truly matter to you, not ones that only look impressive from the outside. You'll begin to show up as your real self, rather than a version shaped to keep others happy. And when that happens, everything starts to align. The right people, opportunities, and experiences come your way, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because you're finally being authentic. You'll build confidence not from praise, but from self-trust. You'll know who you are, what you want, and that you don't need anyone else's approval to go after it. So let this be the moment you take your power back. Let this be the moment you stop waiting for someone to tell you that you're enough, because you already are, just as you are right now. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to feel worthy, not when you get the promotion, not when you lose the weight, not when you reach a specific goal. The time is now. You don't need permission from anyone else to live the life you want. The only approval that truly matters is your own. Once you begin to believe that, your perspective and your life starts to change. Comparison is one of the quickest ways to lose confidence and direction. It often happens unconsciously. Scrolling through your phone first thing in the morning, you find yourself measuring your life against someone else's. Their success, appearance, relationships, or achievements make you question your own progress. Suddenly, you feel behind, uncertain, or inadequate. But there is no universal timeline. Your path is your own, and the only person you need to improve upon is who you were yesterday. The problem with comparison is that it's incomplete. You only see the result what others choose to show. You don't see their struggles, failures, or the effort required to get where they are. Comparing your full experience to someone else's highlight reel is not only unfair, it's damaging. It leads you to doubt yourself based on an image that isn't the whole truth. That kind of mindset keeps you focused on others, instead of investing in your own growth. Your energy is limited. When you spend it on comparison, you take it away from progress. Every moment spent doubting yourself is a moment not used to move forward. Self-doubt grows when you feed it, and the more it grows, the more it holds you back. But confidence is built through consistent action, not constant evaluation. The more you focus on what matters, your goals, your choices, your discipline, the stronger and more capable you become. To move forward, shift your focus inward. Instead of watching others, concentrate on your own development. Let their success inspire you, not distract you. If they can succeed, so can you. But you won't get there by observing. You'll get there by showing up for yourself consistently, making choices based on your own priorities, and trusting your journey. Your path is valid. Your progress is enough. and your potential is entirely yours to realize. Let's be honest. Comparison is a distraction. It pulls your attention away from your own goals and keeps you focused on what others are doing. But real progress doesn't come from scrolling, overthinking, or wishing for someone else's life. It comes from action. What matters isn't how far along someone else is, but what you choose to do with your own time and opportunities. If you want to stop comparing, start by reminding yourself that your journey is unique. Focus on making small, consistent improvements each day. Celebrate your own progress, even if it feels minor. Recognize that no one has everything figured out, regardless of how perfect their life may appear online. The truth is, every second spent comparing is time that could be used to build something meaningful. It's not easy, especially in a world filled with constant images of other people's success, but that doesn't mean you're powerless. You always have a choice. Let comparison take your energy, or take that energy back and invest it in yourself. Choose to focus on your own path. Choose to improve, even if it's just a little, each day. That's the only comparison that matters, where you are today versus where you were yesterday. Your mindset plays a key role in this. It shapes how you see challenges, how you react to setbacks, and how your life unfolds. Look around. Those who feel stuck and frustrated often stay in the same mindset. Those who grow and make progress have learned to shift how they think. Success isn't based solely on luck or talent. It's rooted in perspective. If you believe you're stuck, you'll stay stuck. If you believe you're not capable, you won't act. If you see life as happening to you instead of for you, you'll feel limited. But when you choose to see challenges as opportunities and setbacks as lessons, you take back control. That shift in mindset is what opens the door to change. Many people move through life on autopilot. They let their thoughts guide them, instead of taking control of those thoughts. The problem: your brain is wired for comfort, not growth. It prefers routine, safety, and familiarity. That's why doing something new feels uncomfortable, because your mind is trying to keep you where you are. But growth comes from moving beyond that comfort zone. If you want to create something different in your life, you have to take control of your thinking and choose to move forward, even when it's uncomfortable. You have to train your mind to support you, not work against you. That begins with awareness. Start paying attention to your thoughts. How often do you tell yourself you're not good enough? How often do you avoid taking action because you're afraid to fail? How often does self-doubt influence your decisions? If you want to shift your mindset, you first need to recognize the thought patterns that are keeping you stuck. Once you can see them clearly, you can begin to change them. The next step is to rewire your beliefs. This isn't about pretending or using unrealistic affirmations. It's not helpful to say "I'm successful" if you don't believe it. What does help is choosing better, more constructive thought. Replace "I'm not ready" with "I'm learning every day." Swap "I always fail" for "each setback is teaching me something valuable." Instead of "this is impossible," try "I haven't figured it out yet." That one word "yet" shifts your mindset from limitation to possibility. Your thoughts shape how you experience the world. When you constantly focus on what's missing, what's wrong, or what isn't working, that becomes your reality. But when you start focusing on solutions, growth, and what is possible, you begin to see different outcomes. This isn't just theory, it's supported by science. Your brain uses a system called the reticular activating system, RS, which filters information based on what you regularly focus on. If you're looking for problems, you'll find them. But if you train your mind to seek growth and opportunity, your brain will start showing you more of that. This is one reason people who seem successful often continue to succeed. It's not just luck. They've trained their minds to see possibilities instead of limitation. They've chosen to treat failure as part of the journey, and they keep moving forward even when things are difficult. That mindset is something anyone can develop. It's not about avoiding failure, it's about continuing to take action in spite of it. You don't have to wait for motivation, you need to stay committed. Finally, mindset alone is not enough. Change also requires action. Thinking differently only works if it's followed by doing differently. Growth comes from consistent effort, showing up each day, taking small steps forward, and trusting the process even when progress feels slow. Whether your mindset becomes your greatest strength or your biggest obstacle depends on the choices you make. You get to choose what you believe, where you place your focus, and how you respond to challenges, and those choices determine your direction. Make the decision today to shift your mindset, step into your potential, and build the life you know you're capable of living. Your energy plays a central role in that process. The way you think, feel, and act all contribute to the results you create. Yet many people move through life without paying attention to where their energy is going. They give their time to things that drain them, engage with people who don't support them, and hold on to thoughts that keep them stuck. Then they wonder why they feel tired, unmotivated, or lost. The truth is, if you want to change your life, you need to begin by changing your energy. How you show up each day sets the tone for everything else. Consider how often you wake up already feeling mentally exhausted. Before the day begins, you're overwhelmed by tasks, responsibilities, and self-doubt. Instead of managing your energy, you let the day take over. You react to stress and distractions, and by the end of the day, you feel drained and stuck in the same pattern. But what if you approached things differently? What if you started your day with intention, deciding how you want to feel and where you want your energy to go? That shift in focus can change everything. Real growth doesn't come from luck or waiting for the perfect moment. It comes from being deliberate. The first step is awareness. You need to identify what adds value to your life and what doesn't. Who inspires you? What habits support your goals? On the other hand, what drains you or wastes your time? Many people waste their energy without realizing it, holding on to unhealthy relationships, absorbing negative content, or spending hours comparing themselves on social media. These habits quietly erode confidence and motivation. But when you become aware of these patterns, you regain control. You start setting boundaries, choosing more helpful routines, and directing your energy toward what matters most. That might mean creating space from people who exhaust you, limiting distractions, or replacing self-criticism with encouragement. And your thoughts play a key role in this shift. Your mindset directly affects how much energy you have. Doubt, negativity, and fear drain you, but clarity, belief, and purpose restore you. To feel different, you must think differently. That means noticing your internal dialogue and choosing thoughts that support growth. It's not about being overly positive, it's about being intentional. When your energy and mindset align, real change becomes possible. If you constantly tell yourself that you're tired, stuck, or that things never work out, you'll begin to feel and act that way. Your inner dialogue shapes your energy, and your energy influences how you show up in your daily life. When you start speaking to yourself with belief and encouragement, as someone who is capable and deserving, your mindset and energy begin to shift. The way you talk to yourself matters, because it influences your behavior, and ultimately, your result. Energy isn't only about mindset, it's also about how you care for your body. If you feel drained or unmotivated, take a closer look at your physical habits. Are you moving your body regularly? Are you eating well and staying hydrated? Physical movement, even something as simple as a short walk, can change your state and increase your energy. Taking care of your physical well-being supports your mental clarity and helps you show up more effectively in every area of your life. As you begin to protect and manage your energy, you might find that some people around you resist your growth. Not everyone will support your changes, especially if it challenges their own comfort or habit. But you are not responsible for maintaining someone else's comfort at the expense of your own well-being. You do not need anyone's approval to set boundaries or prioritize your needs. Protecting your energy brings clarity, confidence, and a deeper sense of peace, because you're finally leading your life on your terms. If you've been feeling stuck or worn down, start by examining where your energy is going. Who or what are you giving your time and attention to? Are those things helping you grow, or are they keeping you in place? Taking control of your energy means taking ownership of your life, and that's where transformation begins. By choosing to focus on what supports your growth, rather than what drains you. Your life is shaped by what you do consistently, not by what you hope for. Your habits, the small, repeated actions you take each day, are what create lasting change. You don't need a major breakthrough to start improving your life. You just need to shift your habit. Whether it's how you start your morning, how you speak to yourself, or how you invest your time, these patterns determine your progress. When you align your habits with your goals, everything else begins to fall into place. Until you recognize that change won't happen on its own, nothing will shift in your life. The good news is, you don't have to completely overhaul your life overnight, or wake up tomorrow as a different person. You only need to start with one small, consistent habit, one action that moves you closer to where you want to be. Habits are powerful not because they create instant change, but because they make change inevitable. When you build the right habits, success becomes automatic. It stops being about forcing yourself or relying on motivation. It simply becomes who you are. So where do you start? It begins with awareness. Take an honest look at the habits that keep you stuck. Do you hit snooze repeatedly and rush through your morning? Do you spend hours scrolling through social media and wonder why you don't have time for your goals? Do negative thoughts run unchecked, leaving you feeling unsure of yourself? Until you identify the habits that don't serve you, you can't replace them with better ones. The next step is to make change easy. Most people fail at building good habits because they try to do too much all at once. Waking up at 5 a.m., hitting the gym for an hour, meditating, journaling, eating perfectly all in one day. When they slip up, they blame themselves for lacking discipline. But the real issue isn't discipline. It's overwhelming yourself by trying to change everything at once. Instead, focus on just one small habit. If you want to be healthier, start by moving your body for 5 minutes a day. Want more productivity? Try not checking your phone for the first 30 minutes after waking. Want more confidence? Replace one negative thought with an empowering one each day. Consistency is key. A habit isn't something you do once or twice. It's something you do every single day until it becomes automatic. That means showing up even when you're tired, unmotivated, or when progress feels slow. Habits aren't about quick wins. They're about long-term transformation. Think about the people you admire. Those successful, confident, disciplined individuals. They didn't get there overnight. They built their lives by doing the small, often overlooked things every day, mastering their habits one step at a time. So if you're waiting for motivation, or the perfect moment to start, stop. The perfect time to begin is now. With one small habit, done consistent, your future self will thank you for the commitment you make today. The moment is now. Pick one habit and start small. Be consistent, because once you shift your habits, you shift your life. And that's when everything begins to change. You are just one decision away from a completely different life. One shift in how you think, how you act, and how you show up. That's all it takes to change your trajectory. But too many people keep waiting for the right time, the perfect conditions, or until they feel ready. And that's exactly why they stay stuck. Transformation doesn't happen when you wait. It happens when you decide. Change doesn't come from wishing or hoping things will be different. It comes from action. It comes from the moment you decide you're no longer available for excuses, negativity, or anything that doesn't move you forward. The moment you fully commit, everything begins to shift. Most people don't realize how much power they hold. Many believe their circumstances control them, that their past defines them, or that they're trapped by things beyond their control. But that's a lie. Your past does not define you, and your circumstances are not permanent. You are not stuck. The only thing holding you back is you. The way you think, react, and choose to show up every day. The second you take responsibility for that, you reclaim your power. Every choice you make shapes your life. How you spend your time, the thoughts you entertain, and the standards you set for yourself all create your reality. So if you don't like where you are, it's time to make a different choice. It's time to stop settling for less than you deserve. But what often stops people is fear. The fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping into the unknown. Here's the truth. Fear isn't real. It's just a story your mind tells to keep you safe, to keep you in the same place. If you listen to it and let it control your decisions, you'll never grow or discover your true potential. But when you push through that fear and take action anyway, you realize something powerful. It was never as scary as you thought. The fear was just an illusion. And the only thing standing between you and the life you want is you. So what are you waiting for? The perfect moment. It doesn't exist. The feeling of being ready, it's not coming. The people around you to support you, they might, but none of that matters. Because you have the power to start anyway. You have the power to take the first step, even if it's messy, even if it's uncertain. And here's what happens when you do. The second you decide to step up, to stop making excuses, to stop letting fear run your life, the universe responds. Doors start to open, opportunities appear. Things that once felt impossible begin to fall into place. Not because you got lucky, but because you finally started showing up like the person who deserves those opportunities. But here's the catch. You have to stay committed. Change doesn't happen overnight. It's not about making a decision once and hoping everything works out. It's about making that decision every single day. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's about staying disciplined, even when motivation runs dry. That's how real transformation happens. Not through one big moment, but through the small, consistent actions you take every day. So if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. This is your moment. This is your wake-up call. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop doubting yourself. Decide right now that you are done playing small. Decide that you are ready to step into your full potential. Decide that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how long it takes, you will keep going, because your future self is counting on you. And if you commit to this, if you truly go all in, I promise you everything will change. Your life will transform, not because of luck, but because of your courage, your consistency, and your willingness to keep moving forward. The power is in your hands. Now is your time to rise.